So I'm here at the movies. Normally I don't go to the movies too often, so hopefully this movie doesn't suck. The movie we're going to catch today, it's Lights Out. It's been getting a lot of buzz. I enjoyed the short movie of it, so let's resume this back after the movie. Hey, what's up, guys? So I just got out of the movie Lights Out. Pretty good, solid performances. It has some really tense scenes. That's just a short review I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a longer review when I get back home, and I can dive a little bit more into the information and give you a overall better review than it just being a quick one like I do right here. I have some pros and some cons to say about it, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? So I am back to review the movie Lights Out. Let's dive into it. Lights Out tells the story of when her little brother Martin experiences the same events that once tested her sanity. Rebecca works to unlock the truth behind the terror, which brings her face to face with an entity that has attached itself to her mother, Sophie. If you didn't know, Lights Out is based on a short film and is both directed by David F. Sandberg. This is his first feature film directing Lights Out, and as well he directed the short as well. He does a really good job as far as directing this film. Everything as far as the lighting is really key because obviously Diana, who's the ghost or entity, she can only kind of appear and come out in the shadows or the darkness of, basically wherever darkness is. So they do a really good job of never getting you bored about that. If you think darkness is everywhere, there's also darkness behind the door, there's darkness in the closet. So they do a really good job as far as keeping the pace and keeping the tension there. So they did a really good job as far as that. All the characters in this movie, all the actors and actresses, they did a really good job as far as it being a horror movie. You're not expecting Oscar stuff. Get out of here with that mess. But it was really, really, really good, I have to say. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't annoyed with the kid. As far as usually in these kind of horror movies, when there's a kid, you instantly roll your eyes. But this kid handled it pretty well. He did a really good job. And I really love the dynamic between all the characters, because all the characters kind of have these interesting sort of situations going on. You have Rebecca and her boyfriend. You have that kind of situation going on where he kind of wants it to be official and she's kind of not giving him that. You have the situation about the mother and the daughter, and then the mother and the son type of situation. And you have Rebecca kind of having to take in her younger brother and basically become a mother overnight to kind of basically take him into her life, because her life setting is very kind of like 20s-ish. She's got posters on the wall. She kind of lives this free kind of life, and having to adjust that all to help her younger brother it's a really interesting dynamic that they add in there. It really has your attention all the way through until about the middle part. For me, that's where it kind of started to lose a little bit of steam. Yeah, it's like an hour and 21 minutes, so not much needs to be cut off. It's just the middle parts I would have liked them to either reshoot those a different way or something. By the third act, it's just okay. It's thrilling, and yeah, it keeps the tension going, but by the third act, it just doesn't finish in a bigger way. It's just kind of levels out, and it's an okay ending. I do believe there is a Bloody Disgusting article with him about Lights Out, a sequel. He said something to the degree of, that depends on the audience. If, basically if they go see it and make it a lot of money, then they will do a sequel. I don't really want a sequel. Maybe that's just me. I just got through watching Sinister 2 the other day, and I saw how that went. I didn't particularly enjoy Insidious 2. Something about doing sequels to these kind of movies, because I love Insidious 1, love The Conjuring 1, really liked Sinister 1, and all their sequels to me were kind of just meh. So I don't really want them to do a sequel to this, but if they did, I kind of could guess where and how they would do it. A lot of people love The Babadook. I'm not one of those people, sorry. I really didn't like it. In fact, I pretty much hated that movie. Other than the Babadook himself, I really loved character design and the way he was really creepy and everything. The lore of the Babadook I enjoyed, but everything else in that movie I really hated and didn't enjoy that movie at all. Lights Out, almost similar story about having, an illness and a sickness of the mind or disorder, and having that dysfunction carry on with the generations of the kids. And just to talk about mental illness, it really brings it to the forefront throughout this movie. And I thought they handled that really, really well. And it really poses some, really interesting talk about a lot of things kind of going on in society right now, and about a lot about mental illness. So I really thought that was really great that they kind of included that into this storyline. And props to whoever the sound department was or whoever thought of this, but there's something really, really creepy with the sound of this movie. I can't really tell if that was the sound of the movie, or maybe the movie theater I went to had busted speakers or something. Every time that Diana appeared, or every time that the children or the mother were in the scene, there was some kind of gargling or staticky noise or something that was always happening. And I noticed that throughout the entire movie, they kept that going on almost every scene that they were in. And I'm not sure if that's something to play on their mental illness, and that being for us to kind of see what it's like to kind of have that mental illness going on. Maybe I'm just going crazy and hearing things. Well, maybe not going crazy, but maybe that was just our theater kind of messing up in the sound department. If you notice that, let me know down in the comment section, so I don't think I'm going crazy and maybe seeing Diana. Also, a little small bit that was really funny to me is when the mother and the son talk about having a movie night and eating popcorn. The kid was holding the bag, and what I noticed when I looked right at the popcorn was sriracha flavored popcorn. I'm not sure if there was other popcorn in the bag. There may have been. But what kid that is probably his age of maybe, 7 to 9 would eat sriracha popcorn? Really just a little funny thing that I noticed. It's also noted that it says that David F. Sandberg, the director, decided to focus on practical effects and avoided as much CG as possible. If he did that, props to him. Very much props. But it's really cool if that was done practical effects. If you do not know what Diana looks like, I'm going to have a picture somewhere up here. It's so funny how you see her that way and then how you see her in the movie. It's like total opposites. Like you wouldn't even think she would be that beautiful of an actress to play Diana. I really enjoyed this movie. It was solid performance all around. The scares and the tension was there. Really the only knocks that I have to say about it was the middle kind of, had a few parts that I didn't really care about. The third act and the ending, it was just okay. And it kind of had a lot of jump scares. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a solid effort by David F. Sandberg, especially on the directing side and the lighting in this movie. Solid effort. I really want to give it, I'm going to say like a 7 out of 10. Yeah. So I'm going to give Lights Out a 7 out of 10. If you've seen this movie, leave it down in the comment section. What are your thoughts about it? Did you enjoy it? Are you terrified of the darkness now? Let me know. And make sure to hit a thumbs up if you enjoyed this movie review. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this on the way. More reviews, more horror talk, more stuff on the way. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.